Okay, so the question, one of our member has said that Bhagavan is saying become anasakt towards the karma pal. But what will be the motivation for the karma? If I am not worried about the कर्मण्य वाधिकारस्ते माँ फले सुकर, भगवान is saying don't worry about, and उसका पूरी भारत में और पूरी दुनिया में ट्रांसलेट बड़ा सिंपल सा कर देते हैं कि कर्म कर्म की जा फल की इच्छा मत करे इंसान, different languages, but don't worry about the fal. The question is very valid by a young person, that then what will be the motivation of karma if there is no result? So we'll see the answer what Bhagwan says here. This 30th shlok. The problem is that people read that 47th shlok, Karmanye Vadikarastu, in isolation. So Gita is not, you cannot take one shlok. Of course, every shlok has similar message, but you cannot just read one shlok and conclude. And as Gandhiji and Bal Gangadhar Tilakji said, that you must read second and third chapter. Not only read, comprehend. Practically use those in your life, and then go forward with 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 18th chapter. Unless you understand second and third chapter, you will not. I mean, you can study, you can read Bhagavad Gita, but so these two chapters are basically the workshops, the laboratory of life, and that's why they say that. So this shlok, when people read 40 or Karmanya Vadikarak, then they conclude that no, Bhagwan is not just saying that forget about the phal. He never said that. He said the motivation of doing karma is not just the phal. The karma should be the motivation by itself. I have to continue because हम लोग क्या था बचपन से जब when we are everyone is not just unique to any one culture or one country. We are brought up by that thought that your result, you get the exam, this is your report card. Of course, at the school level, child level is fine, but we grow up. So we grow up with a very individualistic mindset, like my thing, my action, my result. And Bhagwan is saying, no, you are not independent entity. The entire universe is one. And that's why we say, when we say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the entire Vasudha is one family. And the family has one goal. Individual members don't have individual goals. If there are individual goals, then family will not survive together. It's a very simple problem. That's what Bhagwan is saying to Arjun, that you are thinking of your result. My grandfather will die or my grandfather will survive. I will win, they will lose. No, it is not about you, Arjun. It is Dharma is going to win. And Dharma is not individualistic. Dharma is a universal principle. Dharma, when Dharma sustains, everybody will be happy. It's not Arjun about you are going to be happy or your brothers. So that's what. So the problem with that, the motivation is, Bhagwan is not saying that motivation is, you should not have phal as a motivation. He is saying that phal, getting into phal is not one factor involved. There are many factors. You are there, situations are there. So you don't think that you perform karma and get exactly the result you want. And it never happens. Nobody in this world can say that I wanted this and I got this. Yeah, there are, for example, 10 teams are participating in a tournament. There is one trophy. So one team is going to get it. There are many factors will be there. Some players are going to perform well. Some players, Kansas City Chiefs, they are not doing too good because their offensive team is not good. So 5 players are good, 5 are not doing good. They are going to lose in spite of good. So there are many factors in phal. So Bhagwan is, and that's the reason only one shlok doesn't, we should not conclude. We should read this 30 shlok also. So Bhagwan is saying, follow these principles, right? The 5 principles which is explained here. And then just leave, because result is not in your control. Results have many factors. And you don't know many factors because you cannot control every factor too. So just the best part is that enjoy the karma. So what a nice Bhagwan has given an option to Arjuna and to all of us, that you can at least enjoy the karma. Because if you're worried about, then again anxiety will come and the mental distress about the result. And result is always, mostly it is in the future or in the past. because what has happened, what result you remember, or what has not happened. So we remember, if you remember, the entire Bhagavad Gita teaching started from the 11th slok of second chapter. Bhagavan says, Ashochan vashochastam pragyavadansh bhasiste. Gatasun agatasunch nanushocanti pandita. The one which has not come yet, and the one which has gone. You're worried about that, Arjun? Nanushocanti pandita. Pandit means the same, the Vivek person who has adhyatma chetasa. He or she is not worried about what is not had yet come and what is already gone. Gone is gone. Pandit is focused on the present, and that's what we teach, right? Remain in the present. Remain in the present. Enjoy the karma. That's what Bhagavan is telling us. So the answer to this person is asked that Bhagavan never said that. That don't worry about the phal. He's saying that it is not in your control because, and there is another factor which is we know which is very unique to Hindu teaching, very very unique. People have come up with different words, destiny and sometimes, but Hindu Shastra prarabdha, which is because of the previous vasanas and punarjanma concept. So there is something traveling, and there is whole teaching, but simple is that the prarabdha is also a factor. And how we proved it, our Shastra rishis, many sannyasis, Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Vivekananda, Buddha, Mahavir, they died of sickness. All of them. Shankaracharya. Oh, they are so elevated to people sometimes they Bhagwan ka hota hai. So how they died of sickness? Prarabdha. Different age. Vivekananda died at 32, Shankaracharya 29, somebody 70. No, who decides? Prarabdha. Many factors. One of them is prarabdha. Bhagavan is telling Arjun, and that's what this shlok we have to read in that sense that. But karma is right in the present. So enjoy the karma. And that's why Bhagavan is saying in this shlok also, work is worship, right? He said just surrender. Sanyasya karmani means to Bhagavan or to a higher goal, like calling. We say that calling, it's my calling to do something good. सेवा करना, लोगों किसी को सेवा करने का मन करता है, किसी को कुछ चैरिटी करने का, something which is higher than me. That's a karma. And that karma brings the shuddhi, and then shuddhi brings the buddhi in the practice, and then siddhi. Siddhi means you become. So, and again, the same Bhagavan is saying, when he says multiple factors, means there is a cosmic law. People call it cosmic law, और हमारे शास्त्र में हम लोग बोलते हैं विधि का विधान या ईश्वर का विधान. Modern science में the people say cosmic law or natural things, right? It has many factors. It is taking its course. So don't worry too much about how things are happening. Just focus on karma. So that's what happened to Arjun. Abhi Arjun बहुत झगड़ा कर रहा था. When we go to the last, because he is thinking my grandfather. At the end shlok he says that gat sandeha sthito asmi. My doubts are gone. And he says karishye vachanam prabhu. I'll do the action what you say now. You say in the sense he found Guru. And that is another thing, we have to find the right source and then just whatever Shastra explains or Guru, take it. So भगवान इतना ही शास्त्र और भगवान या गुरु इतना ही करते हैं कि वो दृष्टि बदल देते हैं. वही अर्जुन जो देख रहा था कि ये मेरे ग्रैंडफादर हैं, मेरे मम और अहम, now he is saying my doubts are gone. Now I understand guna guneshu vartante. This cosmic law is working. There is a principle working. So I'll just do the action now. And that's what, so again, the answer to that shlok is not just about phal. It is about the total picture. We should not just read one shlok in isolation and say, Are, this shlok Bhagwan. So I think that 47th shlok of second chapter and 30th shlok of third chapter, we should combine and read together. And that's what बाल गंगाधर तिलक said कि लोगों ने क्या किया, भारत में जस्ट ज्ञान का पार्ट ले लिया कि वो गीता इज अबाउट ज्ञान, एंड नो, गीता इज नॉट अबाउट जस्ट ज्ञान. गीता इज अबाउट कर्म एंड ज्ञान. ज्ञान रूपी कर्म और कर्म योग रूपी ज्ञान. So they go together. So I think we'll stop here and do our dhyan. And